Hello, 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 my darlings. Thank you for joining me on A Slice of Life, A Slice of Life. Did you have a good weekend? I had a fabulous weekend. I always have a great weekend. Why? Because I'm a woman of a certain age, and at this point, I don't have to ask anybody to do anything. I give myself permission to do everything that I want done. I don't have to wait for anybody to see if they want to do it. So why not have a good weekend? Whatever that weekend is. Mostly I played in the dirt. Now what does that mean? You know when we talked about, was it Myron Golden talked about the tree. When you plant a tree, it's a seed. And you put the seed in the dirt. And what all has to happen down there before the tree comes up. So graphy, oh, how do I forget the word? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Just being in the dirt. So I always tell you I'm in the dirt because I'm down here making sure that I get everything done. It's Graphitropic and Phototropic. So Graphitropic, I'm in the dirt. So I was played in the dirt all weekend. That means I did a lot of reading, a lot of research. You know, the nerdy kind of things that I love to do because I'm a nerd, a dressed up nerd. Speaking of dressed up, oh, may God rest her soul. Iris Apfel, Apfel. You know, she made her way. She was well known for her work. Let me see. She was known. I knew her as, I didn't know her as an interior designer, which she did some interior designing work at the White House and a number of great places. But I knew her for all her get-ups. You know, I used to do a lot of get-ups, so people weren't taking me seriously, and I wanted to be taken seriously. So I just unget up myself. I still, you know, like my own clothing. But, you know, she would have on, like, all this would be all the way up her arm, and all this would be up her arm, and, you know, lots of stuff. But we do like the glasses together. I do like these glasses. I usually have taken off my glasses by now, but I like these. Yes, I do. But anyway, may God rest her soul. And let me just tell you, she didn't become a fashion world top star until she was 80, in her 80s and her 90s. So there's still time for all of us to get to that, whatever level that is. She did herself. She did her. Do you. Georgianne does Georgianne. And let me just tell you. Oh, I'll tell you about it later. Let's talk about this book. You know what book? Super Aging. I don't know them. They don't know me. I don't get any money. But I like this book. And so we use this book as the basis for A Slice of Life. A slice of life. Why? Because we're getting older without getting old. Oh, we know we're getting older, but we're not getting old. You see? We just, we're living a good life. And then I like this other book that I haven't been in for a minute now, A Well-Lived Life, because I like the title, which is what I want for you. This whole slice of life is about getting older without getting old and a well-lived life. And I'm using, so if you go back to the earlier videos, I talk about Georgianne, where I came from, all the things that happened to me. And sometimes I repeat if I'm making a point of some of the many things that happened to me that I don't want to happen to you. That's number one. But if it happened to you, I want you to know you can survive. Like the 3 times cancer, you can survive it. You can survive not having teeth up here. Now, I don't go many places, so you know you can have on a mask now. You know, but at some point we're going to work the teeth out. But it was a time that I wouldn't even think about trying to be somewhere without any teeth, because I had a great smile. You know, people knew me for my smile. I just smiled and people love my smile. But I don't have it now. And then it just really has worked against me sometime. But then, you know, I still got something to say. I ask God every day what I got to do. And I still have to say something. I still have to come here to you. I still have to share with you what the word he has given me. You see? And so, next week, so you know I teach at Clark Atlanta University. I am an adjunct professor 20 years now. Whoo-wee. I didn't finish my doctorate degree until I was 66. So those of you who are 45 and 25 or whatever age, and you say, ooh, I can't, ooh. Listen, don't ooh, baby. Ooh, nothing. If you want that degree, you need to go back and get it. You can imagine how I felt 66. So when I went into the class and everybody was young, all them young PhDs to be were in the class and they knew everything already, and then I come rolling up in there. Anyway, and when I finished in 2006 from Clark Atlanta University, and I'm very proud that I did it. You know, I did that after breast cancer. So I may have done it for the wrong reason. I went back because I had started it, and then I stopped and said, I don't need a degree, my doctorate. And then I got the breast cancer. I'm like, I don't want my obituary to not have Dr. Thomas on it. Isn't that terrible? Y'all can laugh at that later. But anyway, it was enough to get me going. And I got going. And it was who encouraged me to go to school? Rosin Hopper. She's Dr. Rosin Hopper. And so she was already in the program. She and Dr. Green, and they all got their degrees together. So then I got my little cohort group together. And Jackie and Linda and myself. And we said we getting out of school, we graduated, and we did. And so we're proud of our work, proud of Clark Atlanta University for giving us a program that we could follow, that we could graduate from with, and be able to take that knowledge and share it with our students. It's midterm this week, and my midterm, my work is accumulative. And so they have something to do by today or tomorrow. Oh, I got papers to grade coming up. Oh, yes. Well, that's what I'm going to do during spring break. So spring break is next week. That's what I'm getting to. And the Lord gave me something to say about spring work and about spring break. And I wrote it down because I got to figure out my own writing. But stuff would just come to me. So I'm going to talk about spring break. And it's breaking away from the mundane. That's what Iris Apfel was known for her kaleidoscopic wardrobe, they said. I have a kaleidoscopic wardrobe, and I love it. But break away from you don't have to have that. You don't have to do that. But whatever it is, you can break away from the mundane and your daily life. So, and I listen to Miles Monroe and Myron Golden, Harley Initiated, R.C. Blake's, Reno, and Kiara 511. She's the only woman in my group. Oh, and Franny the dog. Anyway, so and Tony Gaskin. So anyway, those are the people I listen to, and one of them talked about what we do every day, our daily life. Our daily life is to get up, go to work or school, come home, eat and play, go to bed. Get up, go to work, and you don't know you're doing that. You don't know that you're doing that. You just because life keeps you. You got to get up. You got to go to work, go to school. You gotta come home. You gotta get some food together for somebody, and then you gotta go to bed because you got to start all over again. You can't be tired, so you gotta go to bed. You gotta get in bed by a certain time. And before you know it, you are my age. Before you know it, you're at retirement age. Before you know it, you at some age that you're like, wow, what happened to the time? I remember crying when I got 30. Some of that I wish I had back now, but I did. I remember crying when I got 30. I remember crying when I got 30. And what was that to cry about? I just thought I was getting so old at 30. Lord, who knew I was going to live as long as I have lived? Only God. But anyway, so one thing for spring break is next week. This is another thing my daughter said. I was just wondering, sometimes you don't know whether or not you are doing the right thing with your children. When they had spring break, all my daughters, we never went anywhere on spring break. Mama had to go to work. And so she could be at home. If she got old enough, when she got old enough, then she could stay home and talk on the phone all day. Whatever. It's something, I left food, Mama had to go to work. You see? And I think about people who take off, because we always went somewhere when I could. When I had the money too, we would go somewhere, but I didn't go during the spring break. I don't remember. She doesn't remember ever having, we're going on a spring break vacation. No, your mama, she had the mother that worked for the airline to say, okay, I got some money, let's go. And we just go out there and get on the airplane. Well, I thought it was all right. I think she did all right. But I do, wonder about, she didn't really have any vacations. We didn't go on vacation. Like I grew up going on vacation. I guess my stepfather had a time that was the vacation time. And so we went somewhere. But we didn't have that. Evelyn and I didn't have that. But we had good vacations though, because she's well traveled. Trust me. So anyway, I want you to break away from the mundane. Just, you got to get up and go to work. but do something different at work. Yeah, get them to go to school, but when you leave school, do something different. You all do something different. Plan little mini staycations. So if you every time you leave school, you go get a fast food. Don't do that. Plan. It takes planning. So plan where there's a taco meal or some meal that you all rush home and dive into and make together, and then have games or something afterwards. But a lot of times these kids have soccer. I know they got soccer, some kind of practice, dance. My daughter had some kind of soccer. That's why I had to get her a car. I got my daughter a car as soon as she was able to, whatever age that was, because it was just too much. I'm working. It's just me. There was nobody to carry her anywhere. Like, you need to drive yourself. And you need a new car because you don't let a girl get an old car. Anyway, you saw that on my other videos. I'm still talking about you. Spring break. It's spring break. Okay. So, so I want you to break away from yourself. Oh, I had to write that down. Have a meeting with yourself. I've talked about that before. I think the well-lived life. I think Dr. McCary talked about some time. One of her six secrets to health and happiness was some me time. You said, well, I can't have me time. I got this baby. I got this, that, and that. You can have some me time. Me time is in the car. Turn off the music. Let the window down just a little bit. Concentrate on your driving. But just talk to yourself. They think you're on the phone anyway. They think there's a phone in the car anyway. But talk to yourself. Ask yourself how you're doing. And then answer honestly. Take the little few, but now you said, well, I got a kid in the car. Okay, well, put some stuff on them then, and just go. But you can find some me time. When you go take your bath at night, that's some me time. Take your shower, your nightly shower, your nightly bath. That's your me time. But you got to have some me time. And I said, set an appointment. Clear your calendar. Turn off all electronic devices. I turn off stuff now. I guess because I like YouTube and I learn a lot. I listen to a lot of lectures. I can thank Cornell for that because he likes YouTube and I just never could get into it. But I found so much. Now that I'm on YouTube as a wannabe creator, can you subscribe, please? And can you push a thumbs up? I hope something on here is good for thumbs up anyway. But turn off all electronic devices and listen to the atmosphere. Like when you're in a house or wherever you are, one day at work, just put everything down and sit there like this and listen and hear what you hear and stop and think about what you listen to every day. What's going into what energy is coming into your body? What are you listening to every day? You need to stop and do that. Just take a few minutes. And then people laugh at people who go to the park. You have to be careful going out to the park now because there's so many bad people. But, if you can get a few minutes to stand by a tree and listen to the birds sing. Like I like where I live. I live in the woods. And so I can hear the birds, I can see them and hear them. If you're in an area that's dense, you might not be able to see a bird, but look for one. They're somewhere. Just be careful when you walk in looking up. So do you hear what you want to hear? Or are you dealing with I put down forced listening. Forced listening. You're forced to listen to some stuff around you that you may not want to you don't want to hear. Have you stopped and listened in your office? What's with all the sounds and the machines and the people and all that? All that's coming into you. All that's coming in here. All that's getting into your energy. Just be careful. Unnecessary noise, I call it. And voices you really could do without. Now, there's some voices you really could do without. Now, I'm not talking about your spouse. I'm not trying to break up any families. But, some voices that you listen to, you just really could do without. You don't need that voice in your ear every day. And then, so get a spring break. Spring break. Break away from it this spring. change this spring. We all need. Did you listen to Joshua Giles today? If you listen to Joshua Giles today, you know it's going to be a change coming. It's time for change and spring break. This is the time to do it. Reintroduce yourself and to your environment when you return. When you come back from this spring break, come back to a new person. You might have to introduce yourself to your husband or your wife or your significant other. If you go off and do it right. Even going to the store, come back, you're another person. They're like, who are you? You're the person that I'm the person that I should have introduced you to when we met. Some people give you a representative, right? But here's the real me. Come back with the authentic you. This spring break, these are items and things I'd like for you to consider. I'd like for you to consider to break away from the mundane. Get up, go to work, go to school, come home, eat, play, go to bed. Just one sound, no up and down, just that'll kill you. Then break away from yourself and reintroduce yourself to yourself. Let me tell you what I heard Dr. Miles Monroe say. He said, when you were a kid, that first thing you said you wanted to be, are you that thing? I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be a singer. Let's go to the next thing I wrote. Break away from the me. Break away from me. I think that's all part of saying. Break away from me that pleases others, who gives out. Break away from the me that needs to please others. Break away from the me who needs to please others. Need that pat of approval. Oh, Georgianne, you could be with my group. Oh, Georgianne, you could be with us. Because you do the same thing we do. No, I don't. But did I do that? Okay, well, group therapy, group movement, we all did it. We all were with groups of people that we liked being with, but sometimes we just didn't want to be with them. And sometimes we had a difference. And sometimes we knew that wasn't our group. How many different groups you been in? Because you're like, those not my people. You think they're your people, but they're not. And when they know that they're not your people, then they get mad with you so they can throw you out the group. And when God says, when you're thrown out of group, they did you a favor, because you can wake up now and be the authentic you. When God told you, when God told you that you didn't need the approval, that was the approval. Whatever God told you, that was the only approval you needed. He told me you were a singer in the fourth grade. And I didn't get my first one-woman show until I was 77 from the fourth grade. What are you, 9 in the fourth grade? And it was 77 before I got it done. I'm so glad God let me live long enough. That was after the second cancer. Cancer has been my catalyst. But I don't want cancer to be your catalyst. I want a slice of life to be your catalyst. I want something that I'm saying to be your catalyst. You don't need cancer to be the catalyst, because that's what I had. Not knowing that the third cancer is this show. Because the second cancer was the one-woman show. And I was like, oh, God, thank you, Jesus, I made it. I made it. And the cancer was like, I don't think so. It just doubled back on me so fast. So anyway, I didn't share my... So from 1968 is when I wrote my first song. I didn't sing it until 2020. What does that mean? That means that I still believe, I still heard, and I only lately found out that Abraham was 85. Yeah. And Sarah was how old? 80, in her 80s. And Arpel was 80 and 90. And the woman who got her first Grammy was 95. So I beat up on myself. And beat up on myself all these years being unhappy So I don't want you to be unhappy like I was. I think the stress of just having life is stressful, but to carry around from 1968 or even earlier, the fourth grade, you know, to now or to 2020, saying I want to sing. And I couldn't tell anybody because it didn't fit the mold. I didn't fit the mold. I graduated from Spelman. Nobody was singing graduating from Spelman. Not on Hunter Street. I did. And nobody was singing as a French teacher in D.C. Although Roberta Flack did well, I was trying to do it by myself. Just had a child. My child was too young for me to be out in the club trying to sing. And so I did. And so I don't want you who, if you got some things that you want to do, this is a great time because look what you have. You have YouTube and you have TikTok. You got all kinds of places to perform and do anything you want to do, whatever that is you like. I want you to do that. I don't want you to sit around like I did. And because stress causes disease. It does. I don't want you to have any stress. You got enough stress with everything, but I want you to be your best. See what I talk about? A well-lived life. I really want you to have one. I really want you to enjoy. God has given us so much. God has given you so much. God has brought you a long ways, and you know that. God told you some stuff. He told you some stuff, and you have not done it yet. Some of this is on you now. You haven't done. So spring break is next week. Oh, I'll still be here because what? I'm going to be on spring break, but I'll have more fun every day with you. Trying to encourage you to be somewhere and go somewhere and see somebody, Or if I can do some live shows, I will. If I can get somewhere, I don't know where I'm going to get. I don't know what God got for me next week. I know what he has for me today. And what he has for me today is encouragement. Encouragement that you would spring break your way from yourself and meet yourself again. Spring break yourself away from the mundane and put some spice in your life somewhere along the way. Figure out a way to be by yourself. Have a minute. Do something for yourself. Do something different for your family. Spring break your way from needing approval from people. You don't need approval from anybody. God brought you here, so you're already approved, right? And here's the real bottom line. I love you, and you can't do anything about it.